desk for this is going to be particularly interesting because we have a certain somebody back with us called Natu. And why is it interesting to have Natu on the desk for this match? Because one of the teams, ENCE, you have something to do with them, right?
I've heard of them before, yeah. I think they're Finnish as well, right?
They are Finnish, and I believe that you are maybe an owner of some sorts of this team?
I'm a part owner of the franchise, I guess.
Of the franchise,
Easy
yeah.
for ENCE, obviously.
Do you want to tell us a bit about the team, because you are the best person to ask, presumably, at this tournament?
As in this team, the situation
yeah, well,
here?
the team, ENCE, and stuff in general. Get out there, the word about ENCE.
I mean,
the goals of the team, we was talking about earlier this morning.
Obviously. I mean, we launched it in the beginning of the year. Basically handpicked what we thought would be like the best possible combination of players. Obviously, a lot of individual talent in this lineup, but it's been a bit of a struggle for the past 5 months. I think they've been lacking a little bit of, I guess, leadership because there's a lack of certain kind of veteran appearance on this team. When it comes to this tournament, in my opinion, the stylistic way of how they play now with the players they have, with Alo obviously being a world-class hopper, he can pick up the reins of Stunden on that part, and then you have Sunny and Yuho that are really capable riflers, and then Nasu, who's one of my all-time favorite teammates. Really good at communicating. Used to be one of the best in 1.6 when it comes to game mechanics, the movement, stuff like that. Obviously, he's going to be a little bit rusty. Hasn't competed in the high level for quite some time. And then Xarda obviously being the in-game leader. So in terms of purely stylistically, I think this could really work for them. But obviously, they've only had a couple of days to go through, a bunch of maps and just practice a handful of times together. So in that sense, obviously, winning a best of 3 in this scenario against a team such as GODSENT is going to be really tough.
Well, this is the team on screen right now, and you say that they lack that leadership, maybe a bit of veteran leadership in-game. Maybe one day you might just jump in, take the reins again as the Finnish mastermind, but maybe you can take us through the team right now.
I mean, obviously, Alo, Yuho, Xarda, Sunny, Nasu, everyone knows Alo. He's a world-class opper. Yuho, he's one of the young guns on the team. Really, well, you can just put him in the first guy in. He's going to do a lot of damage. Xarda, he's going to be the glue guy, the in-game leader, calling the shots. Sunny also, along with the Yuho, the 2 young guns, just really crazy gamers, to be honest with you. And then last but not least, Nasu. He's I used to play with him way back in the day. For example, in 2007, we actually won a bunch of tournaments together. In 1.6, at one point in time, we were, you could call it, we're the best team in the world for a short period of time. And he was a really important part of that, not only because of his playing abilities, but also the stuff with the communication, just the input towards an in-game leader he can give in mid-rounds.
Metas, why don't you take us through the next team? Their opponents, newly formed GODSENT.
Yeah, of course, got through to the semi-finals of DreamHack Malmo, getting knocked out by the eventual winners NiP. So Palf, Lekro, Pronax, Schneider, and Twist. A really impressive individual team, but what Pronax has been able to do is actually somewhat get this cohesion going and focus that on teamwork, which is incredible to me because you've got the likes of Palf and Lekro, who are very, very talented players. Twist
Lekro
is
at Malmo was playing amazingly, wasn't he?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm not sure what's going on with the highest rated player part, but I'd imagine it's probably Twist, as he is the guy that is effectively a complete beast. Apparently, highest rated player is 1.03.
Yeah,
so.
well, maybe...
Never heard of the guy, though.
Maybe there's, I don't know, maybe there's
Jason.
a player that goes by that name, or it's a nickname for Lekro, I'm not sure. But like you pointed out, and we touched upon briefly, Lekro has really been playing quite some high-level CS, and he was the new guy on the squad, and he's managed to do very well, and not at the highest level, like at Malmo, crumble under the pressure. He really did perform there.
Yeah, I mean, he basically, I think they found him from FPL or one of the gather systems. Basically, hadn't really been a part of any kind of
matchmaking. I heard he was a legendary eagle.
Yeah, one of the booster guys. So anyway, I mean, he's really been super impressive. I think one of the highlights for me, especially in the pistols, the guy is just amazing. Also cool to see players like Palf, hi Anders. Hope everything's well in London. Anders always loves Palf. He's always been raving about him, so it's good to see him that finally he's just actually delivering. Twist obviously as well. There's always been rumors about how he should be a part of one of the top teams, maybe go to NIP, it may be Fnatic, whatever, but just that doesn't seem to be one of those guys. Just wants to play with anyone else except for his buddies. So now it seems like all the stars are starting to align for these kind of players, and obviously with the leadership of Pronax, things can work.
Metas, that is something that I've heard, that like you mentioned, that Twist is someone that analysts and people in the game have said he could be on a bigger team. He could be a star player on one of the star teams of Sweden or whatever, if there was an international team. But I've heard it from his team, and I don't know if he said it to me himself. He does prefer to play with the guys he's most comfortable with, and he is very comfortable with the team right now. That surely is a good thing. It's a good thing to have a guy around like that values his teammates and not just, oh, I'm going to be the one guy going off and getting all the attention on myself. And he wants to be around people. And I imagine that must be good to play with.
Absolutely. Having synergy and being able to enjoy playing with team members. I mean, sure, Natu can attest to this. After his long span in professional CS, you can have the most sick individual players in the world, but if they don't mesh together, it means zero. So if Twist is feeling comfortable and confident with the rest of his teammates right now, and that's how he's going to perform to the best level. Schneider's kind of similar to that as well.
And I don't see that you have to be super good friends with everybody, really. It's all about chemistry inside the game, really. I mean, outside the game, doesn't matter if you're arguing and whatnot, but as long as you're clicking in the game, everything's great. Like, way back, like, over 10 years ago, we had this team called Destiny and Skyline.
What, and you hated each other?
No, we were good buddies, but then one of the players decided to quit, and then we decided to, as he did that, we decided to do a couple of changes, try to make the super team of Finland. Turns out it was way worse than the one that we had previously that had much more chemistry and just the work ethic and just the way we were playing together, which is way better. So it doesn't always mean that you're going to be the best team in the world if you put, you know, the best, so like theoretically the best players together.
Well, just look at FaZe. Maybe not the best individual players in the world, but very talented individual players.
Well, some very talented.
Yeah.
Some very talented, but they're not.
They're kind of the prime example to use for that statement.
Struggling. My brother AZ. I wish great things for you, brother, if you're watching. Anyway, the map veto is on screen. GODSENT, ENCE, and GODSENT have banned Dust 2. ENCE have banned Overpass. Please take it away, guys.
Yeah, it makes sense. Dust 2 is a map that GODSENT has never played, so it all makes sense. I know Overpass is a map that ENCE they're not going to be playing. They're not going to be vetoing a nuke, so they're just going to leave it out there. If it happens to come out, which I really do doubt it would, then, well, that's not what happens, really. Now, the interesting part is what is ENCE going to pick, because I don't think they're going to want to go to Mirage again for the first one, because when you played a team and you just beat him, I feel like it's a bit of an error if you go back to the map that you just beat them on. So maybe they're going to go for a cash pick. Train obviously is a good pick for GODSENT. It's a map that they're 5-2 on in the their existence basically. So it's a map they're super comfortable on. So I can see this going down the Train and then maybe cash for ENCE, and the decider. I mean, obviously it's going to be Cobblestone or Mirage. Now it's up to GODSENT really to make that choice.
I personally would love to see Cobblestone here, but it's going to be Mirage instead. Now, another reason why is because Mirage saw these guys go into overtime. Is what, 1917, I think? The ENCE just
it was 17-19, that is correct.
Right. So, again, that goes back to what you were saying before. That's
anyone's game.
It is. It's up in the air, right?
Yeah, and I mean, especially when you're playing against a leader like Pronax, it's really good at adapting, really good at reading situations, so it's going to be always tough to go on the same map against a leader like him.
Can you give us some information on ENCE on Train? Is there a chance that they could win that map?
I mean, they've been up and down on it, but with Stone playing, I mean, it's going to be interesting. They'll have to change some positions, obviously. Aloe is playing alley, so he's not going to be able to do that now. Obviously, he's going to have to be the upper, roaming around the map, so Nas is probably going to be playing on the alley side of things. I mean, the problem really is what I can see is the fact that they haven't really played much together with this lineup, and then you need a lot of precise smoke executes, a lot of great timing on that T side, so I can see them really struggling on the T side. CT side, however, if Aloe is on point, if he's going to find the right angles, he's going to get the right shots, he could really be demoralizing for GODSENT, but it's going to be a tough one for sure.
When we originally found out that this was the matchup that was going to happen, my initial thoughts were this is going to be GODSENT through and through, but looking at the veto now, I think it could be much closer. This could be a 2-1 either. I'm going to say it's going to be a 2-1 to someone. We'll get into predictions shortly, but what do you guys think veto-wise? Oh, no, actually, we don't have too much time left, so if you want to just go into your predictions and whatever final thoughts, that'd be great.
This is really hard for me to call because obviously there is a
pressure,
psychological edge, and Natu ENCE right next to me makes it a bit more difficult.
Right.
But it is really difficult because they just went the distance on Mirage. Mirage is going to be the deciding map. I agree with Pala. I think this is going to go to a third map. I can't see it being a 2-0 shutout for either team. I'd probably edge with ENCE, but
okay.
I am not entirely 100%, to be honest with you. GODSENT looked great at Malmo since then. They've done nothing online of note.
That's a good point.
Here, they've struggled a little bit as well, so this is incredibly hard to predict, but I'll just edge with ENCE, 2-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for me, obviously, you know, to not be biased on this one.
5-0 to ENCE, 10-0, I don't know, just throw out.
Easy 2-0. No, I'm saying this, the thing is that GODSENT is a team that when it really matters, they find that next gear, and they're really good at grinding rounds out and just playing smart in the after-plan situations, keeping calm. And I can see ENCE struggling a little bit. Although I've actually been happy about the way that they've been playing so far. They actually looked surprisingly good as a unit so far. You know, on the Hellraisers game, obviously they had struggled on the CT side, but on T side, their executes were actually pretty good. And you know, they had a few more rounds on the CT side. You never know; it could have been a much closer one. But I don't think it's going to be a 2-0 blowout for either side. I think it's going to go down the Mirage, and that's where I get a little bit worried because of the fact that they played one another on the map previously. So now it's going to be a time for ENCE to try and adapt to the situation, or you know, be aware of the fact that obviously they played one another, so they'll have to adapt to their game style because Pronax is definitely going to do that.
Okay, so are we not getting a score out of you? You don't have to do it by any means.
I mean,
no, you don't. You don't have to. I'm saying you don't have to.
Come on. I mean, obviously I have to.
Oh,
that's the name of the game.
Okay, sure. Put yourself out there then.
2-1 ENCE.
Okay, great. We've got 2 votes for 2-1 ENCE. I originally thought it'd be maybe a 2-0 to GODSENT, but I think because of the map veto situation, it's going to be 2-1 to GODSENT. So I'll be the guy to fly the GODSENT flag, and we will have to see. I think we're pretty much ready to go into the map. And so here we go. Final best of 3 of the day between GODSENT and ENCE.
All right, guys, so ENCE, GODSENT. It's going to be a clash of the Titans. Again, I think it's going to be so incredibly close.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, thanks guys for putting me on the spot here, really, having to cast your game. You know, just as a warning for everyone, it's going to be the least biased cast you'll ever have for me.
Yeah, okay. Easy friends, right? I'm surprised you don't have, like, your God, Alu t-shirt on just around.
Yeah, I forgot to take it with me, I think. Anyway, I think it's going to be a great series. These teams also met in Pantamera CSGO Challenge way back in, I think this was February, which was a group stage match they played on Train. It was a 16-14 win for then Ancient. That's what they would call at the time. Yep. And actually ENCE was up, I think, something like that along the lines of 14-4. And they just totally mocked that one up. But obviously, a lot of things have happened. DreamHack Malmo has happened since, and we've seen a lot more from GODSENT. Now it's going to be the piss around. And GODSENT they're going to be on that T side. Let's see how this works out.
Well, it's only going to be the first to fall. And now it falls down to Ali, who is playing an Ivy. That's the first headshot. The bomb actually drops towards him. So if he can get some backup here, Alu can actually just go ahead and win this round outright for ENCE. A great individual performance so far. And here comes the T's, though, from behind. They push their way through teammate. And now Zata from behind isn't actually required. Alu with a 3rd kill.
Yeah, Yuho, what a nice backup to Alu there. It seemed like he was going to go down and out, but Sunny, well, he was the one going down. But now it's going to be just Pronax left, and Xarde getting the last one. And that's going to be 1-0 to ENCE in this pitch round. A bit of a split through Ivy or Ali, and team main for GODSENT there, but the push from Ali, from ENCE really, or let's say the aggressive plays down there, really paid out for in the end for them.
Not to be foreboding of any bad news for you, Nasu, but we saw Nasu pick up a sick 4-man pistol, and then from there on out, Hellraisers just demolished them. So they've got to keep it going forward here on Train, especially on the CT side. That economy will be very vulnerable indeed. Yuho having a quick peek towards T main, does spot a player. Doesn't really tell him a great deal, though. And
the Pronax already out here in T quad. It could be in a cheeky position while his teammates are just waiting for the right time, really. They're working towards the inner bomb side with 3 people. Yuho being the one to open things up, but here comes the push. It's going to be inner bomb side, and Nasu being the lone guy. Well, as I say that, though, Yuho's going to be helping him out. Comes a fast 4-on-3 situation.
Here's the man Twist, one of the players definitely to watch out for GODSENT. connects the kill. The bomb has been planted as well, but Twist is going to fall down, prey to Sunny's UMP, and a good cleanup from ENCE. Everyone dies from GODSENT. Easy defuse, but GODSENT will be relatively happy getting that bomb planted.
Definitely. I mean, it's a smart move from the CTs to play passively, because it can obviously, the close range battles is what the Tech9s want to have, and when you have all the utility on the CT side, you can still retake that bomb side as long as you're relatively even with the numbers. So, like you said, GODSENT is going to be happy with that bomb plant. One of the, you could say, one of the safer bomb sites in this game to actually get a bomb plant is the inner bomb site on train. It works out great in their favor in that sense, and it's going to be a savior coming from them, but they'll have plenty of money to work in round number 4.
Sure will. Let's see if they're going to be able to make good use of that, though. This should be as easy a round as you could ask for ENCE. Really nothing thrown in here for GODSENT. They got the Deagle in the hands of Pronax. P250s, Deagle in Twist's hands as well. So they may be good for a couple of kills, but surely not much more than that. A stack on A so far for ENCE, but they do have powerful weapons on B. And now it's all up to GODSENT to try and alleviate some pressure by picking up opening frags.
Yep, that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. They're just trying to cause an economic dent to ENCE, but they're smart enough right now to play passively and just wait for GODSENT to make a decision. And it feels like that decision is going to be the inner bomb site, which 3 off the tees right now, just waiting for the right moment to pop out of. It seems like 2 are going into the upper ramp, and 1 looming down the lower. Also, Alu has joined his teammate Nasu with the inner bomb site. Here comes the push.
And the push in as Nasu with the UMP is going to take down the bomb carrier. It's dropped out in the middle of nowhere, and Alu is going to oblige with 2 kills of his own, leaving Twist and his Deagle and just 16 health for all that remains. He has picked himself up a kill onto Sunny, though, so I said at the start of the round, if they can get a couple kills away from the CTs, they'll be pretty happy, and they've done just that. And now, here comes the AKs.
Yep, the only thing missing really was the bomb plant. They didn't manage to do it, but this is going to be the first buy round here off this first map and this best-of-3 series. The first half as well, obviously. Now, see what they buy. There's no AWP in play for GODSENT, but obviously they'll have all the utility they need to, and see what kind of pace they're looking for. Seems like they're going to be early putting some smokes into the outer bomb site, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be committing to the bomb site right away. Instead, just trying to bait out some nades.
Nades are being tossed in from GODSENT as well, though, over onto the A side. It looks like they're going to try and execute behind this. It's no fake. They've expended so much. They really have to push in behind this. There's so much time remaining, though. 125 to play with. Yuho has put himself a play. Gets flashbang, though, so he's going to have to relocate, make sure he doesn't get charged down. So in the meanwhile, jumps on top of the train. Palf to his right-hand side is lurking and will drop onto Alu. He's scratching his head. 7th kill for Palf. Not actually picking up 2 from that position. The rest of his team, though, are starting to crumble around him as Arthur comes in for 2. And leaves us with just 4 players remaining, 2 apiece. Make it a 2-on-1 now. It's against Pronax on 100 health, and he's got the bomb in his hands as well. And this is where the vast amount of time that was remaining definitely plays into GODSENT.
Excited to be down at 10 HP as well, so if Pronax can manage to make it into 2 individual one-on-ones, he could easily win this here. He's going to get a wide open plan as well. He can be in a lot of positions for planning him. He could go with the C connector, he could go to T main, he can go to the back of 5 and 6. He's going to stay at the bomb site before now finally folding back. And now it becomes a game of trying to waste as much time as possible from the CTs.
The thing is, though, with Zarta so low, this really falls on Nasu, you have to feel, to salvage this round for ENCE. Pronax with the pop flash, and he's going to get the drop onto Zarte. And now, Nasu has a pretty rough task ahead of him. Pronax playing this to perfection is actually going to take down the time, and ENCE will be conceding their first round here on train. And in a 2-on-1, you thought Pronax had no chance. That's not the case.
Yeah, one of the 2 need to come in on the bomb, so that Pronax had to actually peek the bomb. Instead, none of that happened. He managed to just waste his time without even having to see the bomb at all. In that 1-on-2, great play from Pronax, obviously. Picking up the first round of half of them, but I think ENCE should still have some money if they do. Alu also picking up that AWP in the play right now, but this is where pretty much everything is invested for them, so have to go full on in.
Definitely the state of the play right now. And in the form of Alu going up on green train, looking through onto team main, does spot a player jumping across. Again, though, such early days, and GODSENT looking to pull the trigger maybe on the B side. So far, only the 1 player is there. That's going to be Nasu. Oh, he gets caught with a Molotov out. That's going to be him dropping to Twist. Twist with the second frag as well to Connector. Beautiful AK work from him. Bomb will be getting planted from GODSENT, and the Swedes looking to bounce back in this one. Twist with a third. Living up to the hype. And just like that, ENCE have to back away. So Twist with a crazy individual performance. 3 entry frags, and that's good for a second round for GODSENT.
Yep, they threw out the smokes to the outer bomb site. A bit of flashes too. And then they basically just walked forward inside the inner bomb site. Nasu got caught up with a Molotov in his hand, and then obviously didn't manage to get any kills. Alo got one, but got traded away, and then eventually became a 4-on-2 situation. And Yuho started not really having much more to do than just having to save on this one and to keep on the weapons. Obviously now the economy is going to be destroyed for ENCE, and they're going to have to save on the following round. But good play from GODSENT, really just simplistic Counter-Strike. Throw out the Molotovs and throw out the smokes rather, and try to bait out the CTs to over-rotate the outer bomb side, and then just plow into the inner bomb side. And you know, obviously the timing worked in their favor as Nasu just had a incendiary in his hand.
Yeah, sometimes the strength in numbers approach is the correct one to use, and that's the kind of in-game leader Pronax is. It doesn't all have to be complicated. It just has to be efficient. And do keep a couple weapons alive and kicking through into round number 6. One of which is the AWP in Alu's hands, the other an M4 for Zata. Oh, Alu misses the shot, and that's going to cost him his life. And really, you feel like that was a bit of a gimme shot. You really should have landed that one. The M4 now is going to come to use, but Twist with another double. Has taken down Ramp. They're not going to expect a third play there. Nasu with 2 kills with a CZ, just runs out of bullets, but a lot of damage was inflicted. That being said, though, the economy from the CTs is far from perfect. 3-3 now.
Yeah, that was an uncharacteristic miss from Alu, obviously. Could have made a difference there, but at the end of the day, it's going to be GODSENT going to inner bomb side. Nasu in the end trying to get a couple kills, gets a couple of kills to get those kills. Only 2 remaining in that round for GODSENT, so that's good in terms of economy going further for ENCE. But that's going to be GODSENT now equalizing the score. And good fast play so far. Let's see if they keep that up. Steiner is going to take that first shot. Not going to get it, though. He's going to have to fall back. Just taking a peek still in that team-in area.
So 2 UMPs in play for ENCE. They're going to be looking to play the close angles with these SMGs. In actual fact, Yuho goes for the ruthless aggression. There was a player that got flashed up and had to back away, and that's going to be Schneider. With the smoke, it's going to stop the CTs from pushing any further. So a bit of a stalemate, and the fact that the utility was used from ENCE, actually they come out second best because there's still so much grenades in the hands of GODSENT.
Yep. And you can see ENCE is playing really aggressive up front on Yard right now because of the UMPs they have. So they will have to take the short-range battles. UMP is, well, it is surprisingly good. The armor penetration in the weapon is surprisingly good. So it can work in your favor if you're playing up close. Now, GODSENT is still waiting and seeing what their options are, weighing their options, you could say. 55 seconds on the clock. They're waiting on top of ladder with 3 players, and as 2 are making their way through alley, so that indicates the possibility of a bit of a yard split coming in.
This could be a key moment in alley as we just switch across to the man in question, Zata. First kill goes down, looking for a second, can't transfer the spray. A 1-for-1 trade though, better than nothing. 35 seconds, and now B is being aggressed on. It's going to come down to Nasu. We've seen him get caught with a grenade before, not this time. He throws one out. Nice spray control onto Lekro. And that leaves just Pauf and Schneider. But they both come in for frags, and somehow, someway, Schneider escapes by the skin of his teeth. He finally gets picked up from the UMP. The Vuho's coming up from behind. The bomb's been planted from Pauf. Now has a player ahead of him and behind him. Spots the first, and Sunny lands the shot onto Pauf. Very nicely done for ENCE, and that was looking really sketchy, but a nice couple of frags from Nasu keeps them in the round. In fact, it was just the 1 kill, but that's all he needed.
Yeah, when you play the inner bombs, you got to make sure you're at least getting that 1 kill. That's your mission, the bare minimum you have to be able to produce. Now, with only 2 CTs remaining in this round, obviously, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the ENCE in the following round. They're not going to be able to buy everything they would want to and to drop those weapons. So we'll probably have to either go for FAMAS or a UMP or a Scout or something. But other than that, obviously, it's going to be 4-3 scoreline. And still, you see GODSENT really keeping things simple. Trying to fake outer bomb side with the 2 pushing alley, and then 3 players just going towards the inner bomb side through lowers. So they've definitely made their choice of just keeping things simple.
Simple Counter-Strike, of course, sometimes the most entertaining to watch. And I think we both agree that this would go down to the wire, and so far it's lived up to just that. But a nice frag from Yuho will break the deadlock in round 8. And gives a big advantage now that Sunny's chimed in for his own kill onto Twist, who's been the standout player for GODSENT so far. 2nd kill for him. Onto Pronax, looking for a 3rd, finally gets picked off, but he's done his job. so far. 1 minute 20 to play with. Alu knows a player on E-Box just has to pull the trigger at the right time, and this round will be put to rest. ENCE in a 4-on-2. Surely they can't concede this round from here.
Puff down to 39 HP as well. Snyder here, I think he may have seen Xarda's legs. I think he does. Oh, he's going to tag him too, down to very low HP, 17 in fact, and to make things possibly possible here for Snyder, but nope. It's going to be Nasu Juho getting the last 2 kills to make it 5-3. I think that's going to be this moment where GODSENT's economy is going to be broken as well.
Solid holds. Consecutive holds from ENCE.
Yeah, good job from Sunny there. Playing on the edge of the smoke, getting those 2 kills. Maybe got a little bit too greedy, trying to go for third. I think he may have even run out of bullets there. But, you know, when you feel it, I guess, you know, sometimes you do those cheeky little pushes where you may have, or should have probably played a little more passive because the situation was already heavily favoring your team.
Kind of get carried away in the moment, I suppose. Understandable, considering those first 2 kills were so massive. Alu now, nice shot onto Pauf, ran out raw without any flashes, nothing, but it is an eco round for GODSENT. Can't really get too carried away with this. It should be ENCE taking a 6-3 lead. Still early days, of course, on Train.
Again, the bomb is making its way towards the inner bomb site, as we know. As I said before, it's one of the bomb sites where we can actually try and get the bomb plant. Yuho getting a kill on the Snyder. It's going to make the situation 5-on-3. Pronax, Lekro, and Twist left for GODSENT. And they are gearing up for inner bush right now. There's 2 CTs waiting for the moment that it happens. Alu has his sights on that upper. It feels like that's where the push is going to come in. Alu gets the first one, and the second one with Nasu chiming in as well, and that's going to be a clean one for ENCE, and that's good for their economy, obviously, going further.
That's it, isn't it? You start to stack up a bit of bank balance in your back pocket. It means you're not going to be completely devastated. Now if suddenly GODSENT bounce back and wreck you, a couple players on $7,000, always a nice position to be in from a CT's perspective. GODSENT will be bouncing right back with AKs and full grenades, however. So ENCE have another tall task ahead of them. Looks like this could be a bit more of an aggressive play onto the B side, but of course, Train is one of those maps we can cheekily go back down Pop Dog and suddenly just appear on the A side. So have to be very careful here from the Finns' perspective.
Yeah, GODSENT was expecting some aggressiveness from ENCE in that inner bomb site towards the ramps area. In the bomb site, obviously that's not the case. Very passive hold from ENCE in that side, and things are slowed down from the previous rounds. GODSENT now deciding to go for more methodical, sending 1 alley, 1 T main, and 3 around towards the inner bomb site, just waiting for any potential aggressiveness from the CTs. But really patient play right now from ENCE. And one of them, though, I think is in T main right now, and just trying to make his way in.
This position, of course, from Nasu is a position that Taz is so strong on from VP. You see it time and time again. Sometimes think, how can one player hold off against so many? And Nasu's done a good job so far. He's just gone a bit better. You thought maybe you get the double spray down, but Lekro and Schneider are both going to land AK headshots, and that keeps this round interesting now. ENCE need these next couple of kills. Nalu missing a shot that really should be landing. Meanwhile, though, Sunny again is the man on form. That's a grenade lands in the face of Alu, and Sunny's gone down next, leaving it all on Zarte.
And the bomb is making its way in a bomb site as well right now, but Lekro is in the prime position. Xarda probably not going to have any idea. I think Lekro just spotted Xarda, but Xarda may have also heard him. And the duel comes in, Lekro's going to get it, and that's going to be 6-4. Still in favor of ENCE, though.
Again, though, you've got to go back to that miss from Alu. That could have changed everything.
That would have changed everything. It really has to be honest. I have to be honest with you. That was a shot he needed to have 10 out of 10 times, just not managing to land it. And that's going to be GODSENT just capitalizing on that situation. Now comes a double ops. Xarda and Alu going to have the ops, and they are fully invested on this one.
Yeah, this is where you see rock for ENCE so far on their CT side. He's going to have to bounce up again. Up on the site, he resigns. Going to be just peering across towards E-Box.
Look at the paces right now from GODSENT. They're in a 3-on-2 situation. They're not in a hurry to go anywhere. They got a middle left to roam around the map. Nasu as well just playing really well here, just waiting for the moment to get that fry, but kind of whiffs Puff, 1 HP left, and now they know the position of him. So Sunny is going to make his way towards the ladder. And I think one of the teasers right now in the ladder room, so this could really get hairy for him.
I feel a bit sorry for Nasu. I mean, how did he not get the kill there? And Pauf with 1 HP with an AWP. He can effectively be the turret, but no, it gets picked up from behind, and there's Nasu with a double spray down, making up for the previous whiff. And ENCE will navigate their way to a 7-4 lead after the bomb will get defused. Plenty of time to defuse it. There we go.
You could say that's the one way to come back from a situation where you're whiffed. You get the last 2 kills to win that 2-on-2 situation. Obviously also Sunny there with the flying headshot with the M4. And then picking up another one. So many of these rounds are being quite close here, so that's going to keep the economy still kind of low for the CTs.
Absolutely. Fair play to ENCE, though. After a couple of missed opportunities, I feared the worst again, but I was wondering if Alu was going to come back to haunt them. And although in that time it wasn't his fault, he just moved at the wrong second, right? If he just waits another second, he probably gets the kill. Just the way CS works sometimes.
Indeed. Great play from Pronax here. And another inner bomb side push seems to be in the way, as Nasu is going to be paired up with Alu in the inner bomb side. We said this is the one side you can actually get that bomb plant quite often, and it seems like it's going to be that upper ramp that they're coming out of. Alu has his sight there. He's waiting for the moment that they're just going to run out once again. Let's see if it's another game of duck hunt. No, it's going to miss the first shot, and that's going to be the T's getting on the bomb side, and now it's all going to be up to Nasu. And the shot, he's going to take quite a passive approach to this, and it's going to get a headshot from Lekro as well. So that's a great entry for GODSENT into the bomb side. Yuho, though, he's going to get the retaliation, making a 4-4. Get a 4-3 situation, and that's a quick wipe down right now going on here with the retake. So Snyder also go down, just leaving Twist, but he's very deadly with that deagle. In the end of the day, though, Xard getting the kill, and that's going to be another one going the way of ENCE.
Well, full-on eco, though, for GODSENT. So, again, the bomb plant is going to be golden as far as they're concerned. Alu missed the first shot, but I originally liked the way that Nasu played that. He didn't just charge in, all guns blazing, and give an M4 across. He just got absolutely destroyed by a sick P250 running headshot, I think it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he had a head armor. That's my first question, because if he didn't, obviously, that's going to be really dangerous when you're playing against P250s and Glocks. But I'm not sure really. Now, GODSENT, obviously, now they have the money, all the utility. We're throwing out one smoke towards the other bomb side. Sunny going really aggressive here in alley. He's going to be facing 2 of the T's right now. He's going to see Twist. He's going to get that one. But then fall back. That's a smart move to make right now, because Snyder was here waiting towards the team main just for a bit of a more lengthy push from Mr. Sunny.
Really like that. You get the opening pick, there's definitely a part of you that wants to keep pushing, that wants to go for blood, but just backing away keeps the team ahead, and he got that kill for free, still 100% of his health. Really intelligent play, and gives ENCE a great chance now. And there we go, the kill comes down, and now it's suddenly been sprung upon them that it's Schneider behind them. The bomb is getting defused, and the Molotov's gonna land. I don't think there's enough time, though. I think Zarte's got this one, and he manages to survive as well with the AWP. Is he gonna put down Schneider? Yes, he will after time. Oh my goodness.
The madness that we're witnessing right now. That's a perfect play for Snyder, but Xardi just holding on to the defuse. He got that, I think, like around 2 seconds of the defuse already done before the Molotov landed, so that was more than enough the HP he had remaining, and he's gonna win that. What a close round once again, and that's gonna mean that ENCE's economy is still gonna be in check, but as we can see, they still have double ops, as Xardi was able to save one from the previous round. But meanwhile, also GODSENT, they also have money to buy into this one, but not a whole lot of utility, so that's gonna limit their options.
Man, and when he lands, you just know that Zard had enough time to get the defuse. That's going to be so frustrating for GODSENT, and they've conceded the first kill yet again. It's Lekro that goes down. You are pushing aggressively, underarming the smoke, costs him his life. And a needless death at that, I've got to say. He did have a CZ, I believe, so it's not a huge loss for ENCE, but they like to have kept 5 players alive.
Sunny with a perfect angle here. He's going to get the first on the Twist, but he's not going to expect the second guy there. I think Sunny with another kill. And Poth and Pronax making it a 2-on-2 very quickly. Making it a 2-on-1 now, which is Nasu left in the Z connector. With a minute left on the clock. They're going to pick up the bomb towards the T main. And still going to do a lot of things. Oh, I'm not sure if Nasu just spotted one on the 2. Probably not. Just looking around, but Poth is going to be facing on the Nasu. Nasu gets that one. Makes it a 1-on-1. I think he may have heard him. I think he just heard Pronax running towards in a bomb site because of the movements he's making right now.
Yeah. He certainly did. The thing is, though, where he heard him, he's not entirely sure if he's pushed straight to the B site. Now he knows, of course, or if he'd gone down Pop Dog.
And a Molotov on Pronax as well. That could be instrumental in this one-on-one situation.
Especially when you look where he's planted it for. That is prime Molotov country. He's not going to need to use it, though. The confrontation comes a bit early, and GODSENT will pick it up, but ENCE not in a terrible position overall. 9-5. Last round of the half is coming up.
Let's see what the money looks like, because the rounds are being super close, so it's going to be interesting to see what they get. Yep, well, it's going to be 2 CZs, a UMP on Sunny, and Xorda and Alon and Force. Limited utility, just 1 defuse kit on Sunny. Well, at the same time, Snyder also with the Tech 9, but they have full set of nades for everyone except for Palf. That's going to be smoke between the 5 and 6 train coming in right away. Might indicate a possible fast play, but at the same time, the bomb is down all the way in the T spawn. So this is more than just...
It's instantly just jumping on top of that bomb.
Yeah, the bomb being down there, it's going to make things super dicey for sure. 3-on-2 situation, Pronax and Palf just trying to roam around the map, trying to get a free kill basically before committing the bomb with 42 on the clock still. So that gives them the opportunity to try and do this, but ENCE being smart about it, just 1 on top of ladder waiting, and well, Palf is going to make his way up, so he should be taken out here by Nasu. And that's exactly what happens. It's going to leave Pronax now alone, who's done or made his way from alley all the way to T-spawn. And he's going to be meeting up with a couple of CTs here.
All falls on Pronax. He spots the barrel of the gun, but that actually baits him out. And ENCE going to be on the aggression.
Yeah, that's where it becomes interesting for me. For ENCE, obviously, they haven't played too much together with this lineup, or there's 5 players, and knowing that they've obviously had to change some roles. Alo's basically taking stun to the spot in a lot of the things they do, and Nasus has to basically just learn 6 maps worth of smokes in the past couple of days, so it's not going to be easy to remember everything. But if they keep things simple, I'm sure they can, you know, react accordingly when need be. But I think still it's going to be a bit of a struggle here on the CT side, on the T side rather.
From the 2 maps I've seen, though, I've got to say Nasu's probably been the guy that's impressed me the most. I mean, he had on Dust 2, it wasn't particularly fantastic from ENCE, but he did have a couple of crazy moments. But here we go, ENCE will be jumping in to the T side.
Speaking of keeping things simple, there's not a single nade in their hands. Instead, it's going to be full-on armor, 2 alley, and 3 towards the inner bomb side. Snyder is going to get a kill, but traded immediately by Sunny. That's a good start. I think the bomb was spotted in the inner bomb side, or towards the inner bomb side as well, but that's not going to initiate really any from the CTs. They're not taking the bait. As it seems right now, it's going to be a outer push here, coming from ENCE.
Twist in prime position to strike. What a headshot mid-air. Yuho gets decimated in a second as well for Twist. What is happening? He had some blistering performances in the first few rounds, but went eerily quiet. Maybe this is his moment. And those are the kind of kills as well that really motivate, that really spur you on. Craziness. The bomb's been planted from ENCE, though, in amongst all the chaos and action. But in a 2v4, it's unlikely they're going to get this done, or have I spoke too soon? Zata with a headshot, looking for a second one. Not going to get it onto Lacro. Meanwhile, Twist comes in and he's hungry for another kill. He's missed a bunch of bullets. He's going to pull out his knife and tries to chase him down. Just the 1 bullet left. What is happening? And Nasu takes him down somehow, and that's Palf against Nasu with a bomb planted.
No kit.
He's no kit, but he's going to smoke this off. He's trying to bait out the terrorist. And it's going to go to ENCE somehow, some way. Twist gets 2 of the most crazy shots you're going to see, and still loses the round.
I'm lost for words right now, Matt Metis. I don't know what to say, really. How do I analyze that? Nasa with another pistol round. Huge pistol round there, obviously. And whoever was trying to knife did not really work out great for him. That's going to be ENCE picking up the pistol round. An interesting one. And Twist, obviously, with the 2 amazing headshots. You thought it was all over in that situation. But, well, things happened afterwards.
Yeah.
What are you going to say after that? Now, look, you can see GODSENT. They've, well, invested heavily into this one right now, and ENCE taking things really slowly. They might be anticipating the possibility of a forced buy, and judging from their positioning right now, they might be opting to, they're just waiting for a potential push from alley, basically. And they have all the utility. They can do a full-on execute if they wanted to. See if they opt to do that.
It's especially detrimental to GODSENT, considering they are now 11-5 behind. They lose this round, you're looking at a 13-5 deficit. They'll probably eco the next one. It's that pistol round, that ridiculous clutch. Crazy turn of events could really haunt GODSENT here. ENCE looking to start off.
Haunting GODSENT.
Really?
How's that work? Unbelievable.
3 UMPs. As we said before, ENCE very slow into this round. Don't want to give anything away for free. Zarte's going to come down. He's done just that. The bomb's been dropped as well. Schneider will go down next, though, so it's going to get salvaged.
Yeah, here comes a full-on execute. Electro getting nated down 18 HP. And, Molotov as well. Just a full-on execute from ENCE, like I was predicting it to be. And a bomb is down now, 4-on-3 situation. No defuse get for the CTs either. The Deagle 5-7 on a scout in play. And really low HP on Yuho and Nasu, now also Alu. So that's going to make things dicey before Alu gets that kill, though. That's going to make it a 4-on-2 and things ever so harder for GODSENT.
Some damage could be inflicted, though, from GODSENT, seeing as 3 players are just a couple bullets away from death, in some cases just the one. Alu wanted them, but it doesn't matter how you get it done, no matter how sloppy. ENCE keep it going with 4 players alive. 12-5, 7-round lead now.
Yeah, I think this is a thing that we've seen from a lot of teams in the top teams as well, do in the second rounds, that we've seen a lot of teams obviously investing on the CT side in the round number 2. So a lot of T sides nowadays seem to be doing full-on executes. They throw all the smokes and Molotov, the flashes, and as we can see from that, with 4 players remaining on ENCE's part, that was the right call from them, definitely. And that's going to be a save round here for GODSENT. Full-on save round as well.
Yep, so it goes to kind of scenario that I was touching on before, where you expect ENCE to take the 13-5 lead, and indeed it looks like that is going to come to fruition. Again, they're taking quite a lot of damage, but no casualties. And GODSENT now, I mean, they are against the ropes here on Train. If they don't pick up this round, it's pretty much all over as far as Train's concerned.
If you can test your mental fortitude, I think that pistol round is the final boss.
Yeah.
Of trying to see how far you can stretch yourself after losing that pistol round. Obviously, it's going to be demoralizing, but well, it's not over. It's 13-5 and full on buyout right now for GODSENT. It seems like it's going to be a fast push coming from ENCE. They've kept the UMPs. Here the push comes in.
Schneider not pulling the trigger, had a couple of opportunities to do so, waited for the right moment. As soon as he finds his position pretty much given away. So patience proving to be a virtue in that case. Letko in the meanwhile shuts down Nasu. Pretty big kills being exchanged, but ENCE have the bomb planted. And Twist only with 4 HP. No defuse kits between the remaining CTs. Just a smoke and a flashbang. The spray nearly goes awry from Palf, but finally corrects it. And we'll put Yuho down.
Yep, HP does.
We said it would be a short break, and we have delivered. Fortunately, the tech issues have been resolved very quickly. And we should be ready to get underway again. If you just joined us, ENCE have a commanding lead on Train. They move across to the T side, but so far I think they've gone flawless in the T half. I don't think they've lost a single round.
Yeah, they did. They won the pistol round, and they won the second round where GODSENT pretty much force spot into full-on execute from ENCE. Worked out quite flawlessly, only dropping 1 player. And then won the anti-eco afterwards. I don't think they dropped a single player. And yeah, then winning 1 after 2, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it's been a surprisingly dominant affair for ENCE so far. But they're sitting at 14, and GODSENT is sitting at 5. If I go back and just find some demons of mine watching a game between these 2 teams previously, I think they were up something like 14-4 at the Panamera CS:GO Challenge 3 months ago, and Ancients. Back then, now GODSENT managed to come back and win that 16-14. But I'm not going to believe that's going to happen again. Sorry, I have to be biased slightly, just slightly.
But you wouldn't think that Lightning would strike twice, right? That would be a catastrophic, a Herculean throw from ENCE to lose from this point.
Obviously, yeah. I mean,
and the way they've done it as well, the 14-5 scoreline is completely fair. There have been clutches, but ENCE have always came out on top. There's been some massive individual efforts as well. Sunny's definitely stood up to the plate. You've had Nasu as well on the B side by himself, and CT was often getting 1-for-1 trades.
Yeah, only one really that we've seen struggling so far is one of the most experienced players on the team that's been on the highest tier Counter-Strike CS:GO is Alu. He's been missing a few shots that you would have thought 10 out of 10 times he would be getting, but luckily his teammates have been there. They're going to be, they've been taking the pieces after him not being able to deliver in certain situations. Still, obviously, he's not even playing like super poorly or anything. So he's been hitting some of the shots, but just being a couple situations where he could have been impactful. So actually, this scoreline could have been even bigger in the first half.
Very fair point. There's been a couple of shots that if he'd landed, they definitely would have converted from that point. So completely agree. From here on out, though, GODSENT, they've now had a chance, I suppose, like a mini break. Obviously, there were some tech issues, but they were able to discuss amongst themselves what's going wrong on their CT side. maybe this is going to shift the momentum back in their favor somewhat.
The thing is, like, so far, what are they going to really fix? Because it's only been the pistol round, the forced by the anti-ec on the first weapon round. So, I mean, it's not a lot really that they can go with in terms of trying to fix. It's all just trying to, like, you know, regain yourself. Basically, just forget about what's been going on, and just go into it one round at a time. Really, that's the only way you can focus into this. But I think we might be actually in the game. I'm not sure.
It looks like it.
It might be. Okay, so we have a slight issue with the scoreline on the server right now, but not sure if that's going to have an effect on if we're live or not. At least it looks like they are live. They're playing like it is.
Okay, so it says 14-1.
Yeah.
But I guess they're playing.
Obviously, it's not 14-1. But I think the game's live, so we can just continue from here on out. And it seems like ENCE is taking things really slowly so far. Oh, Lecro's going to be pushing in with a UMP, getting those 2 kills. He's going to be in team maybe for Nasu, gets a retaliation, but Palf as well chiming in, getting one on Xarte. That leaves only Nasu and Sunny left in a 2-on-4 situation. Once again, like I said earlier, they've been struggling against these kind of rounds where their opponents are forced by and they have the Max 7s, they have the UMPs and whatnot. And once again, that's the situation. Great play from Lecro, obviously, getting the first initial kills.
Yeah, and we were discussing before about how this is a chance maybe for GODSENT to just wrap their heads together, and they have one of the most veteran leaders in Pronax that could certainly do that for his team. So, just to re-clarify, it is 14-5, not 14-1 to ENCE. GODSENT on the brink of collapse, but seeming like they have stronger backs than maybe I originally thought. Nice molly and flash. 15 seconds left. Sunny and Nasu have to get a move on. 10 seconds now, pushing through, spotting multiple players, but it's not good enough. And GODSENT, there we go, has fixed itself. Pick up their 6th.
Yeah, thank you, Based Gaben, for updating the scoreline to be correct. And like I say, 14-6, but plenty of money on ENCE side, I think. The rounds they won were quite flawless, and they had even the UMPs and whatnot in play, so they should be sorted when it comes to their economy for this one out. Let's see if they opt to go for the op. They do. It's going to be Aloe on the op. It's going to be just going full on out on this one when it comes to its economy, leaving just one, not a single dollar out. And it's going to be a fast play coming in from ENCE. 2 out of team main already.
Very aggressive play. Explosive round. They've made a lot of ground up, but it's Schneider who gets himself the first kill. Meanwhile, Yuho will answer back in kind, and now this really hurts the CTs. They're being encircled by angry Finns, and Yuho with a 2nd kill. Sunny's down to 8. Nasu lands the headshot while Flashbang Lecro goes down, and 1 HP Dream now goes in the favor of ENCE. And GODSENT are going to be tapping out, it looks like, or maybe just relocating. Oh, they are going to be tapping out fully. They're pretty much going to give ENCE a 15th round and just hope they can get 9 on the bounce.
Little did they know it's going to be just 9 HP combined with 2 to 4 ENCE players, so this was still doable, but obviously we know way more than they do in terms of the HP. And that's going to be that fast push once again working in the favor of ENCE. Yuho again with the very, very important entry kills there, opening things up and getting that bomb site. As the bomb was going down, I think he was the one defending the bomb planter too. So that's going to be plenty of match points here for ENCE to play with.
Yeah, 9 in total for Train. Next up will be Cash and then Mirage if we need it. And if ENCE continue to play like this, we definitely won't need Mirage. So GODSENT now, all the pressure falls on their shoulders. With the 2 save weapons, they're going to get themselves a decent enough buy. Far from ideal, but a lot better than the alternative if they save nothing. Another super aggressive push from Yuho. He's actually going out by himself, so he's going to be running a pretty massive bait. GODSENT may very well bite down on this one. They're forced into an aggressive defense anyway because of their lack of weaponry. Now, it's going to keep 2 or 3 players interested. Meanwhile, CT moving up behind from PopDog. Doesn't get much information just yet, but now the AWP is connected. Pistol work from Alu's on point. Palf goes down, 3-on-3, post-plant scenario, and GODSENT is still out of position because of Yuho's play. They still thought this could be an A-take. That's not the case. 2 players going to be coming up from the halls, and Zarting misses out on an opportunity. The Max 7 will be putting him down. Meanwhile, Alu answers back with the AWP, and it's all going to come down to the Max 7. Twist has landed himself the shot, and Nasu has a 1v2 to try and fend off. The first kill goes his way in the second as well, and ENCE will pick it up in style. 16-6 in the end. And one of the most one-sided maps that we've actually witnessed today in a game that I thought would be one of the closest.
Yeah, gotta be honest with you, I'm a little bit shocked here. I wasn't expecting that, obviously, but yeah, great place for ENCE there. In the end of the day, that situation in the last round, Nasu once again with a 1-on-2 clutch, so he's definitely stepping it up. It's cool to see an old school veteran like him. I think there's a lot of fans that don't even have any clue who this guy is, obviously, and him delivering the way he has so far is super cool to see for me, obviously.
I'm not sure what to say. I'm a bit stunned. I mean, I'm happy for you that ENCE have proved to be as good as you gave them credit for, but GODSENT just looked to collapse. There's two ways of looking at it. One is say ENCE played fantastically, but GODSENT just didn't really show me anything so far.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had their opportunities on the T side, obviously. I felt I liked the way they were playing. They were just not able to deliver. They were not winning the after-plan situations, and obviously ENCE also clutching the one-on-ones and whatnot. So it was very close. A lot of the rounds could have been closer as well. On the other side, you saw, like we said, there was a couple of situations where Aldo missed shots that could have made a difference in rounds. So it could have even been a bigger scoreline for ENCE, but they'll probably take it as it is right now.
Certainly will. Well, we'll see if GODSENT can somehow bounce back on cash with the next maps coming right up after this very short break.